How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to be predicting all 30 Stage 3 team affinities. I'm also going to be talking about kind of what to expect if some of these predictions are slightly off. So let's go ahead and get right into it. As you may know, we are going to get Stage 3 team affinities featuring all-star players from 2021 starting on July 12th. Okay, so this is going to be pretty awesome. And if you're interested in participating in some daily fantasy sports, maybe during the second half of the baseball season, you can use my FanDuel link. It will be pinned in the comment section as well as the description down below. But let's go ahead and start talking about what to expect with Season 3 team affinities. I talked a little bit about it in my previous video. We went over MLB The Show's tweet. And I do not think that it will be connected with Season 1 or Season 2. I think we should see some of the same trends that we've already seen within team affinities in MLB The Show 21. And I think we have a really good chance to get a lot of high overall players that could be very similar to face of the franchise cards that we've seen in years past, or even potentially similar to Topps Now cards like we have here for the Orioles All-Star. Could potentially be Cedric Mullins. Even though he already has two different Topps Now cards, he could get an even higher diamond card. The Blue Jays have a couple different players, right? I talked about it in my last video. Simeon and Vlad Jr. already have a pretty high overall card. Teoscar Hernandez, I think, would be a great choice for this Stage 3 team affinity. As far as the Rays go, we already have a breakout Mike Zunino, but the Rays could use an all-star version of Mike Zunino. I think that this card would be a great selection for that. As we move towards down into these divisions, we are going to have some finest cards featured from last year's game. Here we have 99 overall Xander Bogaerts. I think that this card could be selected for the Red Sox. I mean, they could also go with a variety of players, right? Rafael Devers, maybe Matt Barnes, or potentially, who else? Maybe Nathan Eovaldi. But here we have the Yankees, Aaron Judge. This is a home run derby card. We could see some home run derby cards as well. This month, honestly, could be the most content we've ever had in Diamond Dynasty. But for the Yankees, I think Judge would be a great Season 3 team affinity. For the White Sox, I think we could see Lance Lynn. He did have a finest card with the Rangers last year. We also saw a flashback finest card for Jose Ramirez. This card would be a great reappearance into the game, or potentially adjust his attributes a little bit, even though I would think they will be pretty similar to these ones. We have Gregory Soto for the Tigers. I don't know if the Tigers necessarily deserve an all-star. I mean, I'm a Tigers fan. I know that Jonathan Scope has been doing pretty well, but Gregory Soto could potentially be the Season 3 team affinity, also a closing pitcher, so that's pretty cool. We have Salvador Perez as a catcher, 99 overall. I don't know if these players are going to reach that 99 threshold, but if they do, then we are going to get a handful of endgame players. If some of them are maybe a little lower at the 97, 98, then I think that that would also be extremely valuable and effective. We have Nelson Cruz for the Twins. He already got a card recently, the 93 overall, featured in, I think, the Evolution program. Kind of interesting there. I'm still going to go ahead and make that prediction. We have Yusei Kikichi. I don't think I'm saying his name correctly, but this card would be pretty effective if they also gave him a big looping curveball. But here we have Joey Gallo. This card was a face of the franchise diamond. Could also have, better fielding, better contact versus both sides. I would really like to see a extremely high overall Joey Gallo card. As we move forward here, we have Carlos Correa. This is a May Flashback Player of the Month card from 2017, obviously. So his attributes may be adjusted a little differently. But I think a maxed out Correa for the Astros would be awesome to see. The Astros also have a couple other players like Altuve, Brantley, that could get a card. But Shohei Ohtani, I think, would be the best selection for the Angels. However, we of course have the Player of the Month cards coming out. They could go with him as the Lightning player. We also have Jared Walsh as well for the Angels, and he doesn't have a diamond card yet. We have Matt Olson, 89 overall for the A's. I think, of course, he'd be in like the mid-90s. I think that card could be extremely effective as a good first baseman with power and defense. Jacob deGrom as an all-star selection. This card for the Mets would probably be overpowered, would probably be the best one all around, with outlier, with the pitch mix, with increased control and break on some of those pitches. I'm not sure if they would kind of nerf him a little bit because he might be too good for the game cycle right now currently. But Ronald Acuna for the Braves, I think that this card right here, this home run derby card, would be a good example of what we could potentially see. However, Acuna also has a high diamond. They could go with Freddie Freeman. For the Nationals, we have Juan Soto. Juan Soto's probably had the best, finest card in last year's game. This card played way above his attributes with live series quirks. That's one thing to keep in mind, right? If these Season 3 Team Affinities have live series quirks, they're going to be that much better, and they're going to play way above their attributes. Here we have Trevor Rogers as the Marlins starting pitcher. Definitely a solid player. Got him mixed up with a different player with the same name, Rogers. We also have Zach Wheeler, 94 overall. This card, Player of the Month card, could potentially be, the best version of Zach Wheeler that we get, but I think that this would be the best choice for Season 3 as well. For the Reds, we have Nicholas Castellanos. I think Jesse Winker just recently got a Player of the Month card. Nicholas Castellanos had a Player of the Month card and could potentially get a very good diamond, 97, 98 overall with pretty decent fielding, and of course he has the hitting attributes. Adam Frazier, I mistakenly thought he was a switch hitter in my previous video. I have no idea why I thought that, but this card could be very good for the Pirates. Could have diamond defense, could have, pretty good all-around attributes at the plate as well. We have Chris Bryant for the Cubs. I think this card could be very good. I mean, Chris Bryant always has a pretty good swing in MLB, always has an amazing no-doubt animation, but this card could be very effective at third base, could also play some first and outfield. Alex Reyes had a future star in MLB The Show 17. This card was a starting pitcher in that year's game, and that would be amazing. I mean, I would really like to see a starting pitcher, but we need more relievers in this program. I think Alex Reyes would be a great selection for the Cardinals there. We have Brandon Woodruff for the Brewers. This card was pretty good. Honestly, a little bit of a sleeper. He had only 76 stamina as a starting pitcher, but kind of a deceptive motion in last year's game. Had this Player of the Month card or a monthly awards card, and he was pretty good. For the Dodgers, we have Chris Taylor, kind of a utility player. I think they could also go with a few different guys, right? Max Muncy. I don't even know if he'll make the All-Star team. He probably should. I don't know if Chris Taylor will make the All-Star team. I think he will. But I think that the Dodgers could get a pretty decent player. Maybe they got a little bit snubbed in terms of all-star selections. But here we have Buster Posey. This is the prestige version from last year. We could see a very similar card to this MVP Buster Posey as the All-Star Season 3 Team Affinity. Jake Cronenworth for the Padres. He had a 97 overall finest card in last year's game. And obviously they could go with Yu Darvish. They could go with Mark Melancon. I don't think they'll go with Tatis, but of course they could. Eduardo Escobar for the Diamondbacks. This is the only All-Star that they'll get, so this is most likely the card we're going to get. With increased attributes, of course, probably better against right, maybe a little bit better against lefties. For the Rockies, we have Herman Marquez, and I didn't think that this card from the 42 series was that great, but if he had increased hits and K per 9, if he potentially threw a little bit harder or, had better control, a few attributes to go along with it, I think he would be extremely effective. But let me know what you all think about my predictions in the comment section. We also have brand new World Series rewards coming out on the 12th, as well as a brand new Battle Royale program later on in the month. So honestly, this month could be the most Diamond Dynasty content we've ever seen added to any MLB The Show game, and I'm extremely excited about it. Let me know what you think about all this content in the comments. I'm College Lefty. I hope you have a great day. Peace out.